How's it going, everybody? So today we're just east of the home place and we're putting in some new fence. So we just got done putting in some fence across the creek. So now we've got some tore out on this side of the creek. And so Grandpa's got all the fence tore out, all the old posts are gone. And he's got one wire strung up. So now we're gonna go along and put the new metal posts in the ground. And then I don't think we'll get to digging in the wood posts today, but we'll get everything laid out so that maybe tomorrow we can come down here and put the wood posts in. Then we can get this this fence knocked out and done. So this is another 1/4 mile of fence here. So the way we do it is we set our 2 corner posts on each end, and then we run one strand of barbed wire, or one wire of barbed wire the whole way down, get it stretched, tightened up how we want it. Then that'll be our straight edge for how we can make our fence straight. We'll just keep our posts right along that barbed wire the whole way down, so they'll all be in a straight line. So that's how we make our fences straight. Load me up. Load me up. Got them all in. Now we can come back tomorrow, drill the holes for the wood posts, and then that's usually when Grandpa takes over. He strings out the wires, put the clips on, he finishes it out now. So we got all the metal ones in. Good morning, guys. So it's the next day now. We got done fencing yesterday, and then I'm not sure if you can see it in the background of the last clip of this video, the clip right before this one, but there ended up being a fire east of town. So we hurried up after fencing, got back, got our fire rig loaded up in the pickup, then we went out and helped fight fire a little bit last night. They got it out, and the flames were gone by the time we got there, and then we just put out some cow pies and stuff like that to make sure nothing was gonna flame back up. So really thankful that they had it out. So yeah, there was a lot of people there helping, and I'm glad that we got her all put out. But so today I have got a little surprise for you guys. So come along with me and I'll show you. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Surprise! Dad and I bought some sheep. So last weekend, Dad and I invested in 12 head of sheep. So we've had them for a week. I haven't done any filming for a week. I didn't film last weekend because we were busy with these guys trying to figure out what to do with them and stuff like that. So we invested in 12 head of sheep, counting that little lamb. So the little lamb is a buck, and then we've got one other buck that is he's like 3 months old. So we've got 3 ewe lambs that are like 3 or 4 months old, and we've got 7 lambs, or 7 ewes, sorry, that have had babies before they're older. So yeah, Dad and I decided to get into the sheep business. This is the first sheep that have ever been on this place while we've owned it. Grandpa has never had sheep, Dad has never had sheep, I have never had sheep. So these are the first sheep that we have ever owned. So we don't exactly know what we're doing yet. We're still learning a lot about them, obviously, because we've never had them before. But we have a lot of friends and close family friends that have sheep, and then ranchers around the area. There's not a lot of people that have sheep around our area, but if you go north of us, anywhere from a half hour to 2 hours, then there's a lot of sheep up there. And we know some people up there that have sheep and that raise sheep or have raised sheep in the past. So we've got a good base of supporters that we can ask questions to and figure out what we're doing. So that's good. So yeah, now we're just kind of in learning mode. But I think our plan is just to start raising sheep. So we'll see how it goes. You guys can come along for the journey now, and we'll see what we'll see what we can get figured out. So for right now, we've got them in this corral, and we kind of wanted to do that on purpose because we wanted them to get acclimated to this being their new home. So we've got woven wire. Dad and I ran woven wire on the inside of these corrals to make sure that they wouldn't be able to get out. But we are actively training them to the electric fence too. So we got some new electric fence posts that have these clips on them, so that you can run 2 or 3 wires, well, even 4 if you want to run one up there. So we're getting them trained to it. One thing we've noticed is that unless you have the wire super hot with a lot of electricity running through it, then it doesn't really shock them, because their wool kind of acts as an insulator, and then they don't get a shock from it. So unless their nose or head touches it, then they don't get a shock. So we started out with, we just ran electric fence on the inside of their permanent pen, just kind of like what I did with my pigs to first get them introduced to it. And then since then, we've just been giving them small pieces outside of the pen and seeing if they stay in or not. So trying to get them trained to it so that we could graze them without having to put up, you know, like a permanent 4 or 5 strand barbed wire fence. We're hoping to just be able to use electric fence to graze them out on grass and stuff like that next summer. So that's what we're working on right now with them anyway, so it's going decent. But I think this morning we're gonna load up in the pickup and go over and move cows. We had a couple calves out on the side of the road when we got over here this morning, but we got them back in, and we're gonna move them out of that piece today, so they won't do that again now. So we're gonna grab this fencer, and then we're gonna turn off that tank, and then we got to move this little portable tank. We got to move it and the fencer, so that's why we're turning the fencer off and grabbing it. I can set it right there. So we have to turn this hydrant off because, well, number one, that's full, so it don't really matter anyway. But while we're setting things up to move them up into these hay fields, we want kind of want them to come over here and hopefully drink this down so that it's lighter, then we can pull it a little easier.
I'm looking that way.
$5.8.
That's pretty good, probably.
Okay, cows drank it, empty, and we got to move. So now we need to pull this water tank up into that piece so that they've got a little extra water to drink, and then the calves specifically can reach in here better to drink. So it's nice to have it up there. Like what I did the other day, I just tied this around here. It like pulls better like up here than down there because you're lifting up on it, you know. But you got to be careful with the four-wheeler, because if it hangs up on something, it'll like lift it. It could flip it over. Yeah. Remember when I did this one? Something like this. So we have to put this cage around the fencers in case any of the calves get out. The calves will chew on the wires, the plastic coating, they'll chew that off of the wire, and then we'll have to replace the wires on the fencer, and the fencer won't be working. So we put this little cage around it so that the calves can't get to the wires. And we always keep the fencer on the other side of the fence so they don't chew on it.
This is.
So we're going down to finish the fence we started yesterday. We put all the metal posts in. Now we're gonna go down, drill the holes for the wood ones and get them put in. And we're taking our sweet new ride. Check that thing out. The lights still aren't wired up on it, so we can't take it on the road, but we can take it down to do some fencing around the place here and test out the new flatbed. We get to haul some stuff back on it, so we'll get its first scratches on it today. So we put this block under the back end of our skid steer, and if you're wondering why, it's because our skid steer is a little light. It's kind of it's not a super small skid steer, but it struggles with a 1-ton bale anyway. So we put this block under the back end so then Dad can put the back end of the Bobcat, you know, rest it on this block, then he can get his front end all the way in the air and get as much leverage and weight on the auger as he can to get down, and then it digs a little better and faster. we got all the wood posts in except for one hole. When we tried digging the same hole twice in 2 different spots, and we hit some big rocks in both holes, so we'll have to come down with a bar out them rocks and then finish digging them holes by hand. Then we'll have all the wood posts in. But Grandpa can come down here now. Now he kind of takes over and strings the wire, puts all the clips on, and finishes the fence up now that we got all the posts in for him. Good morning. It's the next day now. I got 3 days worth of videos, or 3 days worth of days in this video. I don't know how to word that, but anyway, I'm gonna unload. We didn't unload this pickup last night, so I'm gonna unload it, get that stuff off of there. Then I'm going to go down, check the sheep, take care of them, and then it's supposed to be hot today and windy today, and then really hot tomorrow. So I'm going to get this topped off again. This is our firefighting rig, so that if anything were to happen, then we're prepared and we don't have to try to fill it up before we try to head to a fire or something. So I'm gonna get that topped off too and ready to go. And we'll check the pigs and just do a whole bunch of checking stuff today. So So I've been keeping, I've got one pair, a ewe and a lamb. The lamb's only about 2 weeks old. So I've been keeping them two in the barn every night. And just because I don't know, we've never had trouble with coyotes before, like with calves and stuff, but I didn't know if sheep would attract the coyotes. I don't know. So I've just been keeping them inside just to be 100% sure they're gonna be all right every night, and then I can sleep at night. So I let them out every morning, pitch these guys hay. We'll pitch all of them hay, I guess. Then I've got a little feed that I've been giving them, just a little extra. It's supposed to be you're supposed to feed it with hay, and then you're supposed to have salt and water and stuff, which we've got some salt, and Dad got some mineral for them too. So yeah, we're working on learning what we're doing here. So I'm gonna get these guys some hay pitched to them, and then I'll let mama and baby out of the barn and let them enjoy the day. Morning, mama. Morning, baby. So this is actually morning. Yeah. So this is actually the barn where we used to calve out heifers. We used to calve out heifers down here in these pens, and in this barn we've got an old wooden head gate over there in the corner where we could get heifers in and pull calves and stuff like that. So we used to calve all our heifers down here, but now that we've gotten to the smaller frame bulls, the easy birth weights, and just having smaller calves and calving later, we've gotten to the point now where we calve our heifers with our cows, and we've had pretty good luck with it. So now we've got an empty barn, empty corrals down here, so it worked out good that we were able to keep the sheep down here, and we've got a barn for them that they can go in. We've had to put all of them in one time. There was a good storm that came through that was supposed to have hail in it, and luckily we didn't get any of the hail, but we was able to get all the sheep inside, so it's working out pretty good for us. I better get these guys fed. They're getting impatient with me. That grain, I don't know. They love this stuff. I think it was 2 mornings ago, I was a little slow with, carrying the bucket over and getting it spread out in here. And they were not too happy with me. And I actually got, one of them hit me with their head or whatever, pushed me out of the way. And they're a lot stronger than they look. I'll give it to them. They can push you around. So now you just gotta get in there real quick and spread it out fast for them. But they love this stuff. So I don't know, a lot of people don't like sheep, and this is my first time ever being around sheep, so I haven't even had them for a full year yet. So I really don't know if I can say this yet because I don't have as much experience with them, but I really don't mind them. They're kind of fun little animals to have around. And the thing about it is that they eat different stuff than cows do. You know, they eat the grass in a different way, and they'll eat other things that the cows won't even touch. So as far as grazing them and stuff, I think it'll work out all right for us. We'll be able to graze them, you know, even in the places where cows have been, and they'll be able to eat the different stuff. And just having a different animal impact, you know, obviously you can make a little revenue off of them, so you can have different forms of income, so that's always nice too, to get a little kickback here and there and throughout the year. So, but I think our plan is we're just gonna try to graze them on this bottom where the pigs have been. And I was actually thinking about maybe grazing them, you know, where the pigs have gone through this whole bottom here this summer. Well, they're way over there, they're not quite done with this whole bottom yet, but all summer I've been grazing my pigs through this bottom with an electric fence. So if I could get the sheep out there really early in the spring, kind of like right after they lamb or something, and have the sheep go through there real lightly, and then the pigs would come through, root through the sheep manure, root through the sheep urine, kind of mix that stuff into the ground, and then the pigs themselves will be urinating and pooping, and we'd have 2 different types of manure, you know, just to help fertilize the ground. I don't know, it's all just a thought. So that might be something that we try to do. Obviously this little bit that the pigs have been able to use all summer is not going to be enough for the sheep all summer, so we'll have to graze them down a little further on the bottom, you know, kind of hit some stuff that the cows have already rotated through in the early spring and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all a learning game. We'll just keep taking it one day at a time and see if we can figure some stuff out. I have noticed sheep are kind of a lot like horses. You know, when you pitch hay to a horse, they're kind of picky, and they'll kind of pick through it and leave what they don't want to eat. Sheep are similar in that regard, but I think that, you know, initially they pick through it and do all that, but then after once they get picked through it and everything, then they go back and they do end up eating everything. I don't know, just my observation. I've only had them for a week, so I really don't know, but that's just what I've kind of observed anyway. I have noticed too, my sheep are really protective. Obviously my mama sheep here is really protective because she's got a small baby, but they do not like the dog. See, they don't like the dog, and if the dog is in here or close to them, they will, like all of them will sit and they'll all bunch up and they'll watch the dog until she is gone at a safe distance before they go back to eating and relaxing. So I think it's a really good trait to have. That mama sheep actually took the dog yesterday, hit her once, which the dog probably deserved it, but I like to see that because I'm hoping that they'll stay that protective, and because obviously, you know, a coyote is a dog, basically just a wild dog, so obviously they kind of know they don't like them things, so that's good to see. All right guys, I think with that's just about gonna do it for this video. So thanks for watching, we really appreciate it. If you're new here, remember to hit that subscribe button, and as always, we'll catch you in the next one.